If you say, protect this person at all costs, we don't deserve this person, take a walk with me. This usually happens when someone shares something to educate or gives a personal testimony that is so real and raw that as you're listening to it, it reveals a piece of your vulnerable self. It's usually a well articulated and curated story that connects the dots of the subject matter being discussed, often around relationships, family matters, and depression or grief. And when you spend as much time as I do online scrolling and doing research for your own videos, you begin to see certain patterns, and it appears that we are going through a collective grief right now. And of course, each of us has our own storyline playing out in our own echo chamber or sphere of influence. And it's colored by our experiences, personal history, education, and self education. And in that bubble, you can feel alone, isolated, angry, and frustrated with a hint of resentment. And one of the most common comments on my content is, I feel seen. I feel like you're in my head. How do you know these things? And the answer is no. I'm not watching you and I'm not in your head. And with right around 500,000 followers and rapidly growing, I can say that you're not alone in your thought process. We were supposed to be connected by social media, but I think many of us just feel alone. I can see how you might think that you're the only one going through what you're going through currently. But if you ever want to feel like you're not alone, just hop into my comments section and you'll discover that you're not. It's important to acknowledge that no one has lived your exact circumstances. And because of that, your world can feel constricting, small, and unsupportive. It can be really difficult to see the path from where you are now to where you actually want to be. It feels like it's so far off, this impossible dream that you use as an escape from what you're experiencing currently. And of course, there's no shortage of people in your life that'll sit there and tell you that you're right, that dream is impossible and it's not for you. So you fall into the ways of the world and you do what everybody else is doing. You've gotten really good at learning to cope, manage, and control so that you can create some sort of certainty in the known. The pain of the known is almost comforting, like a warm, weighted blanket. If I can just stay right here in this moment, everything will be okay. The problem with that is, whether you want to move or not, God is going to move you. The more you fight that movement, the more stuck you become. If you're willing to listen to that inner dialogue, you'll discover that there's a calling for you. You didn't get into the school that you wanted to get into. Good. You lost your job. Good. That toxic relationship ended. Fantastic. Those things were not for you. They ran their course and their purpose in your life. And right now, you're supposed to take and learn from all of those experiences. When you allow yourself to embody that knowledge, you begin to see the world and people around you very differently. Those words, actions, problems, and triggers no longer activate you. And what you've done is create capacity within for the external stress, anxiety, fear, frustration. You've stopped speaking limitations over your life and others. You no longer have to label them, you accept them as is, no warranty. And it's okay to be judgmental, but only do that as far as holding yourself and others accountable. As iron sharpens iron, we make each other better. And for men, there's a shaming component that is useful. Even Papa Swolio made a shirt, Make Shaming Great Again. And if you've ever played a sport or been a part of a team, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. The greatest act of love and friendship is to hold each other accountable, even when it's hard to do so. And this isn't about changing other people just so you can like them. It's about understanding your own values and standards.